spirit of good speaking is re-speaking, Ken will re-speak his presentation, presenting the results, incorporating the suggestions he received from the evaluations. Please join me in welcoming Ken.
As part of my high performance leadership project, some of you may know about that type of project, I had a vision of starting a Toastmasters Club at UIC where I work for engineers. And the mission associated with that vision is to give these engineers a place where they could practice their public speaking and prepare for job interviews, communicating science in a professional setting, or even communicating with ordinary lay people about what they were doing. I'm sure you would admit engineers need such a thing. Have you ever met an engineer who could use a little public speaking instruction? You know what I mean, right? So my vision was to help these poor suffering engineers. Did I succeed? Well, you'll find out about that in a few minutes. And along the way of completing this project, I learned some lessons that you might find useful if you ever start a Toastmasters Club or any kind of organization in which you want people to voluntarily participate. What I did is contact 1,100 graduate level engineers at UIC. I had their emails, 1,100 graduate students. Of that 1,100, 60 sent me emails back saying they were interested in being part of a Toastmaster. Of that 60, 28 showed up at a demonstration meeting. A demonstration meeting is put on by the local Toastmasters organization. It's a little bit about having your distant relatives show up at your house, coming in and setting up shop, or setting themselves there as if they live there and taking over. Well, these Toastmasters came into UIC classroom, took over, and put on a Toastmasters meeting. Now they did a really great job. They provided a Toastmaster, a timer, a grammarian, a speaker, to the point where even the timer could figure out these Toastmasters were a high quality level Toastmaster. Pull the plug.
It's a bad idea, John.
At the end of the demonstration meeting, the students who were there, plus a few other students who were known for word of mouth, signed up, and we had 32 charter members. So we were able to charter this club, and yes, the vision and the mission were achieved. There is a Toastmasters Club for the College of Engineering graduate level students, and they have a place to practice speaking. But there are some things I learned along the way of getting this club set up. And as I said, things that you might find useful if you want to set up a club, or have a meetup, or have just a professional organization devoted to some topic. The first thing was, I only got 60 responses from 1,100 students. That means that even if you have a large target group for your organization, don't be surprised when only a small number actually respond. Now I know to set my expectations for membership at a somewhat lower level, and you might consider that too if you ever put together a group. Of the 60 that did respond and the 32 that finally joined, I found that on a week-to-week basis, only about 10 to 15 actually show up for the meeting. Less than half of the ones who actually signed up in our charter members show up. And last night, one of the students said, "You've got to make them accountable. You've got to keep a list and check them off and get them in trouble." I said, wait, this is a volunteer organization. We don't have to make them come here. We have to give them value, something that makes them want to come here. And from the side, I heard another student say, serve cookies, that'll do it. So the second thing I learned is give your members value, even if it's cookies. If you can bake, oh, you can cook. If you can cook, home cooked food, that'll get your members there. And the third thing I learned also happened last night from one of the members. Somebody who had been at 4 or 5 of the preceding meetings got up, he gave his icebreaker just like Megan, and he got up and he said, you know, I was home, I was scared to give the talk. I started looking at YouTube and I saw some world champion Toastmasters giving speeches, and I was inspired. And today I want to give my icebreaker. And I looked at him and I thought, wow, inspired by other Toastmasters to get over his fear and get up and speak. And what I learned from that is, from the few people who actually do sign up and join, you can get some that are inspired to change their lives, and it makes it all worthwhile. So if you ever put together an organization with 1,000 potential members, don't be surprised if you get 30, 40. And with those 30 or 40, don't be surprised if half don't show up unless they're cookies. Or coffee, they want cookies. They will ask for cookies, coffee, pizza. But of the few who are really motivated, you will find, maybe it's only one, like Vivek, who's inspired to overcome his anxiety and give an icebreaker. You'll find maybe one, maybe two,